Hello everyone, this is Dr. Achal and I welcome you again in our subject module titled as Services Marketing. In our previous discourse, we have dealt with interactive marketing, how the interactive marketing is important and why the company should go in for the interactive way to get connected with the target audience. Not only with the target audience, it is being seen that the company or the organization, they have to just ensure that the relationship and the assurance and the loyalty should be shown by the customers who are not being talked of as their present customers, but they are the prospective one. In today's discussion, we will be further elaborating on the same concept of the interactive marketing, and the elaboration is being done keeping into consideration the different components which are having certain kind of profound influence towards defining the concept of the interactive marketing. So, moving on with the slide, this slide says that it is all about the design and the development. As we have said that in the previous discourse, the consumer is getting connected, they are trying to act in a creative way, they are trying to connect with the service organization. So, trying to act in a creative way says of the fact that here the customer and the consumer, they are acting as a creator and a co-creator in certain point of time. So, this slide says that the design and the development, the consumer involvement in the design, it seems to be growing. The design is created either by combining the standard modules offered by the supplier or by following the personal specification. The products and the services, they are now being customized. The purpose is to meet individual needs and the wants and the requirements. As production becomes more flexible and availability of new information technology, it is possible to combine the overall production logic with the individual preferences. Many companies are now able to offer individually designed offering almost at the same prices as before. For example, Volvo, they are customizing out their cars from hundreds to 1000 modules. When the company and they are customizing out their cars together, they try out alternative details and the appearance of the car as a whole on the computer screen before the discussions and the decisions are changed. Now, the consumer involvement, we said that in the process of the creativity, we have already talked of in our previous discourse that the creativity is being seen on the part of the consumers. The consumers themselves, they are acting as a producer and a co-producer. Here we are seeing that the design and the development, in case of the design and the development, the consumer involvement are being seen in many of the instances. They are, we are witnessing that even in the cases of the services arena, like Tesla is there, like Volvo is there, they are trying to, even if like in the case of the production of the physical commodities, we are experiencing that the standardization is being done. But apart from giving out your tangible product in the standardized way, we as a marketer, we are trying to give them some certain customization, we are trying to give them a personalization, and that is what is being seen which the automobiles are trying to go in for. The automobiles like Tesla and Volvo or different brands are there. They are trying to customize out the production of the tangible commodities with the customized suggestions, with the customized improvements, the customized add-ons which the customers are trying to propose to these which they are trying to propose to these business organization. So, designing and development, we are emphasizing on the fact that even if we as a marketer, we as a business organization, we are trying to produce certain tangible commodities which are tangible enough, but apart from the standardization which the business organization are trying to give you, as a marketer, we are trying to customize, we are trying to personalize, give you a personalized approach, taking into account your preferences and aspirations. You are giving certain kind of you are giving certain kind of modifications, you are trying to give certain kind of add-ons, you are trying to give the color changes, you are trying to suggest with certain specifications new enough, feasible enough from the business organization point of view. You are trying to customize out the appearance, the certain kind of functionality is being it is being customized for you. The texture, the color appearance, the color combination, the functionality, the aesthetic beauty can also be changed with the help of some stargazing, and even if the Rolls Royce these kind of automobiles which are giving you the, their costs are very exorbitant enough. They are dealing in crores. They are having their automobiles in 15 crores or 20 crores. So they are just trying to just stick out the customers who are very much being premium enough for them. And even if with dealing out by giving them a standardized approach, even if they are investing out and they are treating out their customers as investment, the suggestions, the customizations which the customers are giving out to these business organizations, they are very they are diligently they are putting up that particular kind of suggestions and the improvements which not improvements, basically these are the these are the personalizations which the consumers are trying to offer to the particular automobile manufacturer. And the automobile manufacturer, even if they are dealing in crores, they are trying to have that particular welcome approach to accept the suggestions and the personalizations very beautifully, very diligently, because they are treating out their customers as an investment. So here we are seeing that the design is created either by combining out the standard modules, that is being seen in case of the manufacturing of the tangible products, by the suppliers, or by following out the personal specification. As we have said that in case of the automobiles we are doing out the same thing, and in case of the other area the same kind of thing can be done, and has been seen. The products and the services, they are not being customized. The purpose is to meet out the individual needs and the wants and the requirements. As the production is becoming flexible and available with the new information technology, it is possible to combine out the overall production logic with the individual preferences. Nowadays we are experiencing that the whole revolution is being witnessed. The whole revolution in terms of the production changes, the whole revolution in terms of the production process. As in a production entity, as in a production manager, we can be able to give a whole transformation to a production unit, to a production schedule, to a production logic, by taking on the add-ons and by trying to personalize, give them a personalization to the products, to the offerings which according to the needs and the wants of the customers. Most of the companies, as I have said before, that the Volvo and Tesla or Rolls-Royce, even if Rolls-Royce is there, they are moving for the such kind of strategy. They are customizing out the cars from the hundreds and the thousands of the modules. When the company and the customers, they are customizing out the things, they all together they are putting out their own views, they all together they are trying to come out certain improvisations which are very much being unique enough, and that is not being experienced in the other kind of offering. Like in the case of the Rolls-Royce, we are experiencing that the R is being written in the car radars, but when the automobile is moving on in the ground, when the automobile is moving on the road, that R radar, the R that is being imprinted, that is being embossed on the tires of the Rolls-Royce, that R keeps on stagnant. That cannot be, that does not move even if the automobile is moving, even if the your car is moving. So that is in a constant kind of factor, that is in a unique kind of factor, that is in a uniqueness which is being seen in terms of the manufacturing of a certain car or a certain product, that is very much being expensive enough, and that is a factor which is giving a unique identity to you as compared to the rest of the offerings that is being offered by the competitors. So when the company is trying to customize out the cars, they are together they are trying out the alternative details and the appearance of the car as together on the whole computer screen it is getting changed. Further moving on, once a document with the specification of the details of the car has been signed and the delivery time checked with the manufacturing function, the car is given its own identity number and the production can start on the assembly line. Like Volvo and Kia, they have their workout solutions with the support of the car system. So we are seeing that once the document is being ready according to your specifications, according to your suggestions, all the details of the car, they are being signed and the delivery will be given out to you, the delivery time checked, it will be created with the manufacturing unit, and the car will be associated with getting out with a unique identity number, and its production will start in the production in the assembly line when that particular car is being given a tag of a unique identity number. That unique identity number will be giving you a fact that it is getting customized according to your own preferences, which a specific customer has given to the production unit. Now, the most obvious consumer benefit is personal fit. This reduces the chance of uncertainty and the risk of unmatching. This association, this creation of the unique identity number, that is what I have said, that will be creating a uniqueness, that will be creating an association that this particular car is being customized and it is being personalized according to the specification of a particular customer. They are being personalized, and this is how the risk of unmatching, the risk of uncertainty can be reduced to a greater extent. We are saying that with the use of the new technology, the design can be visualized in advance in 3-dimensional images. With the help of virtual reality, you can try on the dress, drive the car and walk about in the kitchen before any of them exist. Now, here we are seeing that the advent of the information technology, the use of the new techniques, the use of the new softwares and the computing techniques, we can have a virtual simulation techniques, because we know even if you are not knowing how to drive in a car, that can be that can be learned by us by going in for the simulation driving. So, here in our case, we are taking another example that if the car is getting manufactured, if we are trying to purchase out in a customized car, then its design can be visualized well in advance because of the help of the virtual images, because of the help of the 3-dimensional images. You can go in for checking out the virtual reality. Like earlier also we have taken the example of the lens cart. If you are not being able enough to move on in a specific store of the lens cart, you can be able to capture your image and you can be able to fit and then be able to give it to in a virtual mode. You will be able to post it in the website of the lens cart, and they will be customizing out the spectacles depending upon the suiting out your physical features, facial features. So, here we have here also we are taking out the example that even if you are not knowing how to drive a car, you can be able to get it trained with the help of the simulation driving. And we have said that with the help of the virtual reality, you can try on a dress, you can drive on a car, you can walk over the kitchen, and all these things can be done because of the presence of the information technology. Now, this of course reduces the consumer's risk. Definitely the consumer will be under greater ease. The vital prerequisite for the works logic is the companies has to restructure the organizational structure and the way in which he has in a communication channels can be arranged. So, we are saying that this is a vital prerequisite for the company, because the company has to restructure its organizational way, and that will be an effective way to deal out with the personalization aspect of the consumers. Now, regarding the communication channels has to be arranged accordingly. The decentralization, the empowerment of the frontline people or the employees, they appear more prominent. The empowerment, the training, the empathy, the resilience, the perseverance of the frontline executives, the staff managers playing a very important, profound role, because they have to have that particular kind of development of their good communication skill, having out a good approach to deal out with the customers effectively. Now, this is in the production. Earlier we have talked about the design and development. This is in a second aspect of the interactive marketing, and this is all being related in the production aspect. Here we are seeing that the consumers, they have started to engage in do it yourself by managing out the activities themselves. Examples of such do it yourself tools and the systems include new telephone systems which offer answering services, the transfer of the calls, automated wake up calls and telephone conferencing and mobile telephone, ATMs and personal computers with fax and publishing facilities. This new technology enables the computers to do things which they could not before. For companies, this is a way of creating new business. Now, talking of with regard to the customers' involvement regarding the production, earlier we have talked of the customers' involvement regarding the design, product design and development. Here we are seeing the fact that how the customers and the consumers, they can move in for the production, real production process, how their efforts can be used in the real production process. We are seeing that the consumers, they have now started to going for the adoption of the do it yourself, and new kind of tools and the techniques, they are being adopted, they are being used for the customers so that they can be customizing out the things on their own by using out and by doing out the things on their own. So that is why the name itself is self-explanatory, that is, do it yourself. And we are including the new telephone, like we have taken an example that there is a new telephone system which is coming out with a unique feature of answering services. We as a customer, we are able enough to customize it, and we are able enough to transfer out the calls. The system is coming with an automated wake up calls. We are having a facility of the telephone conferencing, and all these all these features, we are having out the devices coming out with these kind of features. So now the induction and the adoption of the new information technology, because of the new kind of changes in the electronic field, in the information revolution, this information revolution in the information technology, they are, with the advent of the information technology or with these kind of radical changes that we are experiencing in today's competitive world, in today's dynamic world, they are enabling out us as a customer to do more, to get into ourselves in a more versatile way, to get into ourselves being prominent enough to be recognized, and this is how the companies are trying to create out of a new business form. Now, how to market? Earlier we have discussed about the design and the development, then we have discussed about the production. This is all being related to the marketing aspect, and we are seeing that marketing is now directed at the database of the potential customers of buying capacity, and the transaction takes place between the manufacturer and the end user. With the interactive TV and the CD-ROM, the consumers can choose the area that interests them. They can ask questions and get answers in several rounds. Even if the answer is programmed, the range of the alternatives can be very large, which makes the interaction dynamic. Now, marketing, we know that marketing is all about, it is being associated, is being related with meeting out the expectations, the aspirations of the customers, and not only the customers, but the potential customers also. So, we are seeing that the marketing is not directed at the database of the potential customers of the buying capacity, and the transaction takes place between the manufacturer and the end user. The customers who are not using out your products at the present point of time, but they may be moving in for the purchase process in the next discourse, they are the potential customers. And we are seeing that the marketing nowadays, they are not focusing out their attention towards meeting out the needs of the end buyers, but they are equally taking care of the needs and expectations of the potential customers, and they are trying to get in touch with them. So, the transaction, they are taking place between the manufacturers and the end users, and they are at the same point of time, the transactions, effective transactions are happening amongst the producers and the manufacturers and the end buyers, but at the same point of time, the concentration is also being paid towards the potential customers. And we are seeing that with the interactive TV and the CD-ROMs, the consumers can choose the area that interests them. Definitely that will be helping them out. They can ask the questions and get the answers in several rounds. There can be a situation in which these kind of advanced tools and the techniques in the form of the TVs and the gadgets, the smart TVs are coming, the CRT is being replaced by TFT, and here we are having smart TVs to talk of having a different kind of specification, the features, even they are coming with the touch screen. So, alternative kind of specifications, alternative arrangements can be done, that can be programmed also depending upon the convenience of the customers, and to a very large extent they are making out this this interactive marketing to be more dynamic. We as a customer sitting at the comfort of our house, sitting at the comfort of our home or comfort of our office, we can have that particular kind of interaction to be very much being dynamic enough, and to be very much being lucrative and attractive in us as compared to the alternative brands of the competitors, because of the uses of these kind of information technology medias. Further, we are elaborating that the new interactive media, it will be providing an opportunity of independent information like the Netscape, the CompuServe. A supply of information structured in the consumer terms has become available. The new interactive media with the uses of the new techniques of the softwares, the new techniques of the hardwares, we are having out that storage capacity, we are having that flotation of the information which is very much being unique in nature, which is having a capacity to store a large database as compared to the yesteryears, which having a capacity of getting them a personalized or meeting out within a personalized expectations, trying to fulfill out within personalized expectations. We are seeing that the benefits of the consumer lies in the efficient choice, while the cost is associated with the learning to operate a new information system. Definitely the benefit of the customer is trying to reap out the benefits, the customer is trying to realize out the benefits in terms of the utilities that they are deriving with the purchase process, and here the cost is being associated with the learning to operate the new information. The cost from the perspective of the consumers, because of this dynamicity, because of the adoption of the newer tools and techniques, because of the going for the sophisticated learning mechanisms, because of the involvement and the involvement of the newer tools and I mean newer gadgets in your sophisticated system, that will definitely become complex, and you as a consumer, you as a customer, you have to just have the certain kind of mechanism to get yourself being oriented enough how to handle out these kind of gadgets, how to just be more pronounced, how to be just more being easy enough with the users factor, the do's and the don'ts. So the learning cost in terms of the customers, it will be get increased if we as an effective and as a very proactive consumer, if we want to have the users of these these machines, these advanced tangible products, to give them a customization or also to have the feature of the personalization, so as to have that personalization effect, so as to have them that customization effect, we need to learn them how to use, how to handle them. So the users factor, learning factor will altogether, it will be a cost item that will be bear on the part of the consumers. We are saying that the consumers are using the marketing as an input into their own value creating process. Now from the customer's perspective, we are treating the marketing, consumers themselves, they are treating the marketing as an input towards the enhancement of their own value creating process, because each and every customer, they are trying to enhance out the utilities. If they are moving for the purchase process, they are trying to enhance out their utilities with the effective purchase process, and they themselves are treating that the marketers and going for the specific marketing discipline or going in for the sophisticated advanced marketing practices that is being practiced by the business organizers. They themselves will be able enough to just enhance out the value, to enhance and to maximize out the value creation process which the marketers are trying to get to them, they are trying to create for them. So this new information technology, it has reformed the marketing the way it is being done. Now this is all about the consumption. Now here the consumption, this slide says about the consumption, that is the interaction in the consumption stage turns in another direction. In case of the consumer goods, the most direct and the usual way of companies to interact is to establish a free helpline on which the consumers can reach the supplier. Definitely in case of the tangible goods, there is a free helpline toll number. If the customers are facing any grievances, they can be able to reach them out, and they will be helping the customer cares are there, customer service centers are there. If they are having any kind of problem, if they are facing with any kind of problematic situation, they can be able enough to make an access or having easy access to these customer helpline numbers to get rid of their any kind of grievance. For example, we have taken a Nestle, that is Nestle is providing with their baby food and offering the customer with an opportunity to talk to the licensed dietitian. So Nestle is providing, and they are the very important, we know that Nestle is one of the very prominent multinational company. They are offering and they are being supposed to offer baby products, infant baby products. And if the customer is having, they are facing any kind of problem, they have an opportunity to talk to a licensed dietitian on a free helpline about the baby's eating requirements. So this is a kind of offering, this is a kind of service which is being given by Nestle to the customers, to the consumers as an add-on features. In the case of the household durable, the free helpline is classed as customer service. Definitely we have talked of. Having support and advice available during the consumption stage means that the consumption process can generate more value while the risk and the uncertainty being reduced. Now having support and advice available during the consumption stage, it means that the consumption process can generate more value while the risk and the uncertainty being reduced. The same thing, that is, we know that if after the purchase a consumption is being made, Then in the consumption process, it may so happen that the customers or the consumers, definitely the consumption will be done by the users, by the consumers. So during that particular process, if the consumer is facing any kind of problem, they are facing any kind of difficulty to handle out the product or to how to use out the product, they are not knowing about this kind of thing. So that will be generating into the fear, the feeling of the risk and the uncertainty. So if these kind of facility, the facility of the help you kind of thing, the facility of getting in reach with the customer care, the facility of trying to take the help of the customer line numbers, if they are very much being easy and available to the consumers, trying to get rid of their problem in a very prompt kind of way, in a very prompt way, definitely the risk and the uncertainty will be reduced to a greater extent. From the company's side of view, now this was from the buyer's point of view. We are seeing from the company's point of view, the extending the interaction during the consumption stage means building a long-term relationship with the customers. The consumer trusts the companies and provides them more business. Definitely, we have said that this consumption is giving out the fact that if the purchase is effectively being made after the purchase, when the consumption is being done by the consumers, if they are facing any kind of problematic situation, if they are facing any kind of difficulty, that will be resolved by the customer's helpline number. The people are there sitting to help you out, and if that is effectively being done. Now, this removal of the grievance, this removal and the reversal of the grievance is also one of the aspects of the services. So, from the customer's perspective, the customers will be, they will be satiated enough, they will be delighted enough to use out your service, and definitely from the business point of view, that will be creating a long-term relationship and the loyalty from the customer's point of view. Because if the customers are delighted, the consumers are delighted, they will be creating a word of mouth. That will be resulting in the viral publicity, that will be resulting in the form of the buzz marketing, and your goodwill and your loyalty, their trust and their loyalty will be greater enough to be continued, to be having out that feel of association, having out that feel of loyalty and the trust to be sticked with you for the years to come. And this phenomena will altogether will be favorable for the business point of view, because the company will be building on trust, and they will be having out that loyalty, the hardcore loyalist customers for them to be talked of as a premium one, and they will be treating as an asset for the company. They will be acting as an asset for the company. Now, this is in a slide which is being related in a destruction. Earlier we have talked of design development and design growth and development, the production, the consumption, and then this is all about related with the destruction. Now, this says that the interaction at the destruction stage aims at the healthier environment and more efficient use of the infinite resources. Some companies are taking back their products from the consumers when the product is ready to be to be disposed of. The company then recycles the product and makes it fit for use again. Now, the destruction, it is all being related with a disposition factor. Now, we are moving in a very globalized scenario. We are moving in a very, we are not experiencing the linear economy. In the earlier course of action, we are experiencing a linear economy was there, in which we are only concentrating on the production, consumption, and then destruction in a linear way. The word linear itself means a linear way. It is in a straight pathway. But nowadays, a huge transformation is being witnessed in the economic point of view. We in the economy, or we as an Indian subcontinent, we are trying to go in for the circular path. And that is what is being talked of in the terms of the circular economy. We as a marketer, we as a producer, we are producing something, the production is being done, the consumption is being made on the part of the consumers. Thereafter, when the final disposition is being made, there are certain kind of provisions which is being made by the manufacturers, by the business organization to have that proper disposal of the used item. In case of the electronic products, it is very much being prominent enough, because here the scraps and the residuals of the electronic gadgets, they are very much being having a profound influence over the impact over the environment. So, in order to reduce all the deleterious impact, the health hazards, the toxins that are being created for the proper disposition of the residuals and the scraps of the these electronic gadgets, there needs to be a proper disposal, there needs to be a proper and efficient disposal of these kind of items. So, dumping is being done, and the government is trying to come up with a good kind of initiative to how to have a proper disposal of these items, the scraps and the residuals, how they can be reused, how there can be provision to have a proper disposal, and how the residual scraps can be reused for the next time. So we are recycling, we are reducing, and we are just moving for the reuse. So recycling, reducing and reusing these are the three components that is more being pronounced in case of the circular economy. And here in case of the destruction that is all being related with the disposition factor. We as a business organization, we as a service provider, we have to just come out with a proper solution that how the offerings will be properly being disposed, especially in case of those products which are very much being, their proper disposition needs to be made. So the government is also making provisions in the form of Niti Aayog is there. They are making out certain policy initiatives. The entrepreneurs are, the specific entrepreneurs are there. Tata is they have all together, they have worked on this particular factor, they are working on it. Similarly, there are other business conglomerates who are moving for the production of the manufacturing of the physical commodities and how to have a proper disposal. They are even coming out with a solution to give them a rental services. The consumers and the customers, they are having they are having an alternative not to go in for the a real purchase, but they can use out the physical commodities and the goods on the rental basis. So here the disposition factor basically it lies on the part of the manufacturers. But for those commodities, this is in a situation which is which is rarely being seen. For the effective purchase and the consumption, we are going for the real buying. So if that particular effective transaction is happening on the part of the consumers, the proper disposition should also be made on the from the customer's perspective. So the company is trying to look in for the reuse and the proper disposal. The recycling is being made, and there is more being emphasized in today's circular economy. In the conclusion, what we will say, in the conclusion, it's all is being said that the interaction between the consumers and the producers, they are helping the new technology to have a benefit both, and probably also from the fact that the consumers and the suppliers, they are becoming more capable and knowledgeable in creating more values from the customer's perspective by creating out a value creating process. So this interactive marketing, if we conclude regarding the concept of the interactive marketing, we can say that this is a concept which is having out a benefit definitely from both the parties, both the parties, that is the customers will be having an interaction. If they are having a good interaction, they will be able enough to give out their inputs in the form of the, when the product is primarily it has been conceptualized, when the product is in a conceptualization stage, right from the idea generation, the product is in a conceptualization stage, you can give on your add-ons, you can personalize them. So this is in a design, the development phase. When the product is being produced, you can also be giving out your suggestions to have a personalized approach. After the consumption is being made by you, even if you can be having a greater ease with the adoption of the different kind of technological gadgets, you can have a greater ease to use, the greater accessibility will be provided to you. And finally, with the disposition factor, the product is finally being disposed by you, you should be sensitive enough towards the environmental factors, that because you are the part and the parcel, we as a customer, we as a consumer, we as a part and the parcel of the society, we have to have that particular approach of be having the sensitiveness enough towards our environment to have a proper disposal of the used products. So with this, I am ending up my session here only, and this was all about the interactive marketing. I hope that you have understood the concept of the interactive marketing, and the next discourse we will be meeting with the next topic. So till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you all for joining.